So, I should say hello, welcome back to our fourth day in the afternoon. It's been a very enjoyable week, don't you think? To our IRCA Lead Auditor 9001 course. I know you've all enjoyed the course so far, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes, you have. Don't be thinking about the exam tomorrow. And on that point, I thought it's a good idea to try and use the vehicle of magic to re-emphasize some of the points that Lawrence has been discussing with you. That sounds like a good idea, doesn't it? Yeah, and in the first day, I don't know if you remember, but we went into quite some detail, at least Lawrence did, talking about the process approach. Yeah, do you remember that all that time ago? And you know, believe it or not, I thought, well, maybe we could use the process approach to do a card trick. Wouldn't that be fun? Would you like to help me test this process out? You would? Yeah, great. Okay. So I thought, well, we've got to operate under some controlled conditions. And we agreed we don't want any unwanted variation. So the first controlled condition and the input for the process is always to make sure that you start with a shuffle deck. Would that be fair? The activity for the process will be the card trick itself. And the output, at least I'm hoping the output will be wonder, amazement, and mystery. Does that sound like a good plan? Would you like to help me test the process out? Yeah. Now, of course, I did say that the input criteria would be to make sure that we always start with a shuffled deck. I could shuffle the cards, but would you trust me? No, I don't blame you either. So we'll use kind of like a job sharing shuffle. Some for you. Some for you, some for you, give you some as well, and last but not least, some for you. Just give them a mix up, give them a good shuffle up. There we can all agree, I hope, that at least our input criteria has been tested and safely met. Would you agree with that? Yep. And you'll notice as I collect these cards back, they're in exactly the order that you have shuffled them into. Now for the activity itself, I'm going to need the assistance. Well, I'm going to need a beautiful assistant. That's not you. No, somebody knows about playing cards actually. You know the suits, the clubs, hearts, diamonds, spades. Do you know playing cards? No? Would you like to come up? There's a beautiful assistant. Hello there, my name's Paul Ingram. What's your name?
Jerry.
I knew it was Jerry, good memory. I was testing your short-term memory there. Now Jerry, you have two very important jobs. The first decision I want you to make is, and this is really important because it's important when you're thinking about this and discussing it later. Would you like me to leave the cards in the shuffled condition I collected them in? Or would you like me to give them one last shuffle?
As they are, it's fine.
Leave them as they are. Okay, could you hold out your hands for me, Jerry? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, your other important job is to step behind me and, like every good card player, spread the cards out and, like a gin rummy player does, sort the cards into their separate suits. And presuming that you've got a mixture, that there's some red, some black, hearts, clubs, diamonds, and spades. And while he's doing that, let me explain something. I've literally been handling playing cards every day of my life since the age of 8. So for at least the past 20 years, I was waiting for that. I've literally been handling playing cards for well over 40 years. And you know, I'm sure you've heard people say, particularly a musician, they say, they develop an affinity with their instruments. You know, like a concert violinist. They'll have been playing that violin as long as I've been playing with my playing cards. And I've developed this affinity with my instrument, which is the deck of cards. But it's a very strange affinity. It's almost like a psychic connection. I can almost hear the cards speaking to me and calling to me. And just at this moment, can you hear? Listen. I'm sure you can all hear the Jack of Spades calling out loud and clear. You have the Jack of Spades there. Amazing, isn't it? And if you hear closely, you can hear from this shuffled deck, don't forget, I can hear the King of Clubs. Is that the King of Clubs? And could you hand me the 5 of Clubs while you're at it? The next card I'm hearing is was a very small, low-valued card. I'm certain it's a red card, a red 2. I can't say whether it's the diamond or the heart, but I'll go with a red 2. Do you have a red 2 there? Ah, I thought it was the diamond. I would have got that wrong. Okay. I can hear... Is that a spade there? The 9... yeah, the 9 of spades. Do you have the 9 of spades? And of course, the one that calls really louder than the rest, loud and clear, is the ace of spades. I'm sure you all heard that one, didn't you? Say yes, Paul. I'm sure I can... this is where I was getting confused earlier between these low value cards. You do have another low value card there, and if I'm not mistaken, it's a red card and it's a 3. Is it the 3 of hearts? Yes. I can see another kind of low value black card, and I think it's a club. Can I see the 6 of clubs? Can I hear the 6 of clubs there? Brilliant. And last but not least, I'm sure I can hear loud and clear. Is that another? Is that the ace of clubs? Can I hear the ace of clubs?
Indeed.
How's that? What?
You missed one.
Beg your pardon?
One more.
Oh, I've missed one, have I?
It's a laryngitis, isn't it?
That's a bit embarrassing. In fact, don't show anybody that card. In fact, put that card in your pocket, if you will. You know what? It's a bit embarrassing, but this is the second time in about 3 months this has happened to me. And what actually happens is, in some deck of cards, you get what's called a defective playing card. Yeah? And because these cards come with a guarantee, the guarantee made by the US playing card company, I actually was so disgusted and annoyed about this, I actually wrote to the company, and they wrote back to me. Would you like to see the reply they sent me? It's the US playing card company. I'll read you the reply, and you can read this with me. Dear valued customer, that must be me. Thank you for taking the time to write to the United States Playing Card Company and bringing to our attention a product that does not meet our standards. All our playing cards are inspected, but occasionally a substandard deck will bypass our strict quality control. Why does it always happen to me? In front of all these people as well. We deeply apologise for the inconvenience this incident may have caused you, and confirm that the last card thought of is always
8 diamonds.
the 8 of diamonds. What do you have there? The 8 of diamonds! Give a round of applause, please. 6 numbers.
Jerry, I get the feeling you've done this